can Payton Thorne improve from taking a statistical step back in 2022? Let's talk about it. I'm here at Golden's Cast Iron to talk a little bit about what's going on with Auburn football and the passing game. 2022 wasn't great for Auburn statistically. In fact, the Tigers finished near the bottom of the league in almost every single passing statistic. Payton Thorne struggled to be his Michigan State self, and as a result, Auburn's passing game didn't move forward a whole lot. Let's take a look at where Payton Thorne was and where Auburn hopes he'll be after the 2023 season. In his sophomore season as the starter at Michigan State, Payton Thorne threw for over 3,000 yards, 3,240 to be exact. Thorne had a respectable 8.3 yards per pass, 27 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. If you've been an Auburn fan for any amount of time, you know that those numbers would break or match just about any passing record that Auburn has ever set. Auburn has had only 2 single-season 3,000-yard passing records in the whole history of the program. So even sniffing 3,000 yards would be a statistical anomaly for Auburn. In fact, Thorne's 2021 numbers would have made him the 5th best passer in the SEC in 2023. 27 passing touchdowns would have been good for 2nd in the league in 2023. Now, 10 interceptions and 60% completion percentage still would have been near the bottom of the league for the SEC last year, but still, the yardage numbers alone would have been enough to move Auburn forward offensively. In fact, Thorne's 2021 numbers would have made him one of the best Auburn QBs to ever suit up as a Tiger. The next season saw Payton Thorne take a step back statistically, but the numbers were more reflective of a broken system at Michigan State than anything Payton Thorne did himself. Payton Thorne posted a respectable 19 touchdowns to 11 interceptions in his follow-up campaign to the 11-2 season that he saw at Michigan State. The interception numbers are a little high, but the trade-off for moving the ball is light years ahead of where Auburn is today. Payton Thorne arrived late in the summer last season and was expected to raise Auburn's yardage for almost 1,000 yards year over year, as Auburn threw for only 1,700 yards in 2022. Robbie Ashford managed only 1,600 yards passing in a season that saw Brian Harsin get fired, but also the run-minded interim coach in Cadillac Williams took the air out of the football a little bit, which left Auburn with not a lot of yards through the air. As the 2023 season launched, it became clear that Hugh Freeze did not have a lot of faith in his pass catchers, which resulted in him taking the air out of the football to a tune of only 61% run to 39% pass in 2023. The result was one of the most frustrating passing games that Auburn has ever seen. Payton Thorne had a record low 266 attempts, and at a 60% completion rate, that didn't leave Auburn much of a chance. Hugh Freeze himself had this to say about Payton Thorne's pass attempts.
Bottom for my whole career.
For your whole career, right?
Auburn managed only 6 wins with these record low passing attempts, and the result was a 3rd straight losing season on the Plains. That brings us to 2024. Can Auburn turn it around? Hugh Freeze leaned hard into the belief that upgrading the pass catchers meant upgrading Payton Thorne. Led by brand new receiver coach Marcus Davis, Auburn recruited the best crop of receivers in the country in the last recruiting cycle. And along with some decent additions from the portal, Auburn is looking to put the air back in the football in 2024. But will it be enough? Let us know in the comments after the video whether you think Auburn will succeed in the passing game in 2024. Now, while you're at it, visit goldenscastiron.com for all your grilling, kettlebell, and dumbbell needs. We love them at Golden's for sponsoring this segment, and you should too.
What's up, War Report family? We are back with another great edition of The Mix. Joining me today is special guest, brand new Auburn star point guard, Taliah Scott. Taliah, let's jump right in here.
All right.
You made the tough decision to transfer from Arkansas to Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
How you feel right now about your decision to make the transfer?
Yeah, I feel great, especially when I came on my visit and everything. Just being in the atmosphere, being around the players, being around the coaches, learned about what they would need from me, knowing what I'm committed to doing, and I'm committed to everything that it means to be part of the Auburn women's basketball team. And so being here, moving in yesterday, it was fun. It was great. And I'm just so happy that I'm here.
Well, Taliah, I know you're excited to hit campus, but I wanted to talk a little bit about your journey through basketball. You started at a young age, and your dad has coached you for a very long time.
Yes.
You started basketball before the age of 6, right? Like, when was the first time you picked up a basketball?
Yeah, so I think I was like 5, I might have been. It was my first time playing, and like I told my dad, I was like, yeah, I want to play. And then, we went out there. So I was like in the back, like me and my dad, we were in the driveway, we were in the backyard working on like just like fundamental stuff, like pivoting, making sure I know how to pivot, not traveling, like dribbling with both hands, all the basic stuff. And then like shooting for him like close to the basket. And so, the first time I went out there, we were at like a little league. It was called I-9 in Jacksonville. So we had a little league. And so I didn't do anything. I was just standing there like I was not aggressive. I didn't want any type of contact. I didn't want to touch the ball. And so I ended up like quitting. And so I did gymnastics for like a couple years. And then back when I was like 8, 9-ish is when I really got back into it.
How did you like gymnastics?
Oh, gymnastics was fun. I was able to do all the flips, and I was good. I thought I was going to be a gymnast. Like I was at that time, like my dream was like to be an Olympic gymnast, and I was going to win a gold medal and everything. And then actually my brother became the age where he could start playing. So I think he was 4. And so I saw him playing, and I told my dad like, oh, I want to get back into basketball. So I quit gymnastics completely. And I was 8 at this time, I think, 8 or 9. And so then I started back working out, and it was a whole different story. It wasn't me not wanting any type of contact with the ball or anything. And ever since then, like, I've been working out with my dad for my whole life. He's been one of the main people that have really, like, helped me grow my game and who I learned from the most. And so, like, that's basically it. And so I've been playing since I was 9.
Is your dad your role model? Will he be your greatest role model?
Yeah, I would definitely say he's my role model. I look up to him so much. He's just a really great person. He's a really genuine person. Like I can tell he really cares for me and making sure that I reach the goals that I set for myself. And so he's played a big role in everything, like a teacher to me, a mentor, a dad, everything. And so without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now.
I did get a chance to talk to him before this interview, and he talked about after you came back to basketball from gymnastics, in the 8th grade, well, I'm sorry, let me back up. In the 7th grade, he said you were shooting from NBA range. True or false?
That is definitely true.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that actually all happened because, so we went, okay, it's a little story. We're going to have a little story time.
Okay.
So we actually went to an Orlando Magic game, right? And so I forgot who they were playing, but my mom, she had got us like these like VIP seats kind of. So like we were able to go to the VIP line. So we were sitting like close to the court. So we got chose for like this family like shooting thing to win. I think it was like $5,000 or something. So we go back and so my dad's like, okay, so my brother's going to shoot the layup. So it was like a layup, free throw, 3-pointer, and a half-court shot for the 5,000.
Yeah, we do that at Auburn.
Yes.
We do that at Auburn.
Okay. So my dad was like, okay, yeah, Jamal, we call him Stir. Stir, you're going to shoot the layup. Leah, you're going to shoot the free throw. I'm going to shoot 3. And I was like, no, I want to shoot the 3. Never shot a 3 really before this time. So I was like, no, I want to shoot the 3. And so he's like, are you sure? Like, you sure you want to shoot the 3? Like, we're trying to win this $5,000. And then I was like, no, I want to shoot it. So he was like, all right, well, I'm going to let you shoot. Like, you can go ahead and shoot it. So first time ever on an NBA court. This is like the first time I've really ever shot a 3. So my brother makes a layup. My dad makes a free throw. So I'm shooting the 3. And so I'm missing. I missed again. I missed like 5 shots. Then I finally made the last one. And then we only had like 5 seconds or something to shoot the half-court shot. And so we did end up getting the $5,000, but I think that really helped my confidence though, and helped me be able to oh, well, I can make, like, I just shot on an NBA court in front of all these people.
In front of the people, yeah, wow.
And I made this 3 and it's far like, oh, I can really shoot 3s now. So I feel like that really, my 3-pointer, that really expanded my game. That experience really expanded my game in terms of shooting.
What a cool story. I won $5,000 shooting a 3 on the NBA court. My dad
always jokes. He's like, oh, you still owe me $5,000 so you can make that shot. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get it to you eventually. But it was a really cool experience though. And I feel like it gave me a whole lot of confidence.
Given the type of relationship that you guys have had and how active as a dad, it seems like he's been, I would say, I don't think there's any amount of money that we could ever pay our parents back for the roles that they play. Mm-hmm. But your dad did mention to me in the 8th grade, you played an AAU game against 9th graders. Mm-hmm. And in his mind, this is when he realized you were the real deal. You dropped 40 in a game. Tell me about this game that you dropped 40 points.
Yeah, so we were actually, it was the first year we were on the Under Armour circuit. So I was playing for FGB, so it was a program based out of Florida. And so this is the first year that we were sponsored by Under Armour. And so it was like we were all 8th grade. We had some people, like we had Chloe Kids from South Carolina. She was on that team. We had a girl, I forgot, her name is Hannah. She like led like 3-pointers in at whatever school she was at. And so we had some players on that team. And so we were playing 8th grade. We were playing up 9th grade because they didn't have an 8th grade division. And so first of all, we were getting blown out like in every game. Like I don't think we won a game like that whole UA thing, but we were competing. And so it was the last game of the very last tournament. And so we were up in Pennsylvania. And so like we were playing on court 1, so in front of everybody.
Okay.
And so I was like, I just came out and I was like, I kind of need to put on this show. Like, we're on court 1. Like, I'm young. Like, I've never played, like, in this environment before. Like, this is going to be fun. And so I think we were playing a team from Illinois, example. So I think I made, like, my first shot. And I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm about to just go and kill. Like, we just need to win. And so I was just really feeling it. Like, I was really feeling my teammates were giving me the ball. Like, we were running action. Like, they were like, yeah, go ahead. Shoot it. And so I ended up dropping 40 that game, and I didn't even know. And so Chloe actually told me we were on the way back in the airport. She was like, did you know you have 40 points? Did you know you have 40 points? Like, I've never scored that much before. And so I was like, dang, I have 40 points? And so it was just really cool. And I think it really, in my mind, it helped me show, like, yeah, I think I might, like, be able to do something with this, and I think I might be able to go far with this.
Yeah, it's Chloe's at South Carolina now.
Yeah, she's
and she's doing well up there. But your journey through basketball as a kid, right? There are ups and downs when you're figuring it out. But there was a time where you had to deal with some adversity. And at the college level, you may have to deal with a lot of adversity. But you broke your shooting wrist in high school and then had to, recover from that. What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so when I broke it, I actually broke it mid-year. And so I'd finished out the season playing on it. And so when they told me that I had to get surgery on, I was kind of apprehensive. I was like, what if, I can't shoot anymore like how I am now? Like, what if something really happens? And so my dad was like, no, you're going to be fine. Like, we're going to work through it. We're going to, it's not going to affect your shot. And then he was comparing, there was, another NBA player who had the same surgery that I had to have. I forgot who he said, but it was a shooter too. He was a shooter too. And so he was like, my dad was like, oh no, he had the same surgery. And look, he's still shooting the lights out still. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I ended up getting the surgery. And so I'm coming back, and those were a hard couple months for me because I couldn't do anything with my right hand. So I was just working out with my left hand. I was doing dribbling stuff with my left hand. I'd be in the parking lot. So my brother would have a game, so I'd be in the parking lot doing dribbling drills with my dad. So we just really focused on using my getting my left hand stronger, getting my body right. And so it was hard not being able to play because I missed the whole first summer session of AAU. But I felt like I really saw a lot of change and a lot of growth in terms of my body. I was lifting, I was doing everything. I was going to this place of strength and conditioning, performance place. And so I was just working on little parts of my game that I could work. And then as soon as I finally got through the physical therapy and everything, then I started back working. I started back shooting. We started out close. And it was a process. And I had to, it kind of felt like I was starting over again almost, learning how to shoot again. And so it was a process and it was hard. Some days I would cry, I'd be angry, I'd be mad. My dad would just be like, you're good, it's fine. And my mom, she was never on the court with us, but she'd always be like, no, you're good. You're gonna get back. Don't worry about it. And so after, I think it might have been 5 months, I was out from it.
Yeah, wow, that's a long recovery.
5 months. And so, but once I finished the recovery and all that stuff, then I was back and I was like, wow, I could really get through. Honestly, and as long as I work hard and I work through stuff and I know that I'm not gonna let this hold me down, then I can really get through anything. Were you a little timid with the wrist coming back or Yeah, I was a little timid. I was because I didn't want to fall because I feel like falling is how I heard it before. And so I was tough. Okay, I don't, I'm trying not to fall. I'm trying not to be on the ground, and then it was hard, especially because my first couple of games I wasn't shooting it how I normally, I'm missing shots that I normally make and stuff like that. And so it was kind of a hard, something mentally to get over, okay, I'm just now coming back. This is my second game. I'm not going to make every shot that I was before, but I'll get back to it. And so it's kind of just like getting like mentally just talking myself through it and knowing that, you know, I've worked for it. Like I've put in the work to rehab. I put in the work to get my shot back. I put in the work to be able to do what I did before. And so to just trust it.
Well, you come from a long line of basketball players. As a matter of fact, your granddad played high school basketball in this area, in the Columbus area. Your dad played basketball. Your younger brother plays basketball. You play basketball. Was there a chance, outside of gymnastics, was there a chance that Taliah Scott may have ended up doing anything else?
No, there's no I don't
basketball
think so.
is it?
Yeah, I tried track for a meet and then I quit. I did the mile and I was like,
no thanks.
No, I'm not really for the running with nothing. No. And so I was like, yeah, basketball, I just fell in love with it. Like when I came back to it after gymnastics, I'd really fell in love with it. I was like, this is what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be a dual sport athlete. Like, no, I want to play basketball and I want to do something with basketball.
Well, let's fast forward to college, right? So you committed to Arkansas out of high school and we got a chance to see Taliah Scott from an Auburn perspective, up close. You had a third quarter for the ages. 17 points in that third quarter.
19.
19? Okay,
19,
I'm sorry.
19.
All right, I won't sell you short.
Right.
She's like 19. Come on. Right, so you score 19 points. Arkansas ends up winning the game by 2. 74-72, I think, was the final score of that game. And you know, you played one more game and that was it for the season. So you enter the transfer portal and everyone's after Taliah Scott. Now, I just want to make sure I get this right because, you know, Dad told me on the list of schools, UCLA, Stanford, Indiana, Kansas State, LSU, Alabama, just to name a few, that really, really wanted Taliah Scott. But you decided to commit to Auburn. Why?
Yeah, I think I have a really good relationship with Coach Jay.
So Coach Jay is the reason.
Well, she is part of the reason, but it was a whole lot too. You know, it was, especially when I came on my visit too, just the environment, like the family environment. Like I honestly have never been around or been on a visit where the environment was like it was and how everybody is so supportive of each other. Like you can see, like, it doesn't feel fake. It doesn't feel fake. Like it feels genuine, and it seems like people are genuinely happy to be around each other, be on the team, and like they play for. It seemed like they seeing that. It seemed like they played for each other in the court. So like when I played Auburn, like it seemed like they played for each other, and I can see why, because it was such a family environment. It just seemed so supportive, and the coaching staff was amazing. Like everybody is so down to earth. They're easy to relate to, easy to talk to, and they have your best interests in mind. And so I felt like coming to Auburn, I knew that I would have people behind me who supported me, who would hold me accountable, and I'm committed to everything Auburn like is requiring me to do. So like playing defense, I'm committed to playing defense. Committed to working hard. Like I want to work hard, and I want to be able to put my best foot forward whenever it comes to games. And I just want to be around a group of people who all want to win. Like at the end of the day, it matters if we win, and everybody wants to win and is willing to do everything in their power to try to win the games, and that's what I want to be a part of.
You know, the culture that you're talking about, it starts at the top, right? That's something that's actually built by Johnny Harris, right? The culture you experienced when you came on your visit. So it's always interesting to hear, like, oh, it felt like family. It felt like everybody was really supporting me and embracing me. Because their theme since Coach Harris has been on campus has been the rise, right? And to go from where Auburn was before she got here, 0 SEC wins, to the NCAA tournament in year 3, you've got to have great culture, right? You know, so when you were looking into Auburn, what other things kind of stood out? I mean, I know you were impressed with the campus, right?
Yeah, the campus was beautiful. I really love the campus. And I also like that it's by my family. I have family in Columbus, a lot of family in Columbus and Atlanta. And so being able to be close to them and having them come support me at my games too, I've realized that I really need that, especially when I was far away at Arkansas. Like I realized I really need to be around family. But then, like, it's really the camp. Like everything Auburn has to offer. Like I really enjoyed, and I really like whatever they have to offer.
Yeah, the campus is. I'm a little biased, but the campus is definitely beautiful when you come here on a visit. Certainly, but I want to go back to something you said about being committed to playing defense. One of their themes was 40 minutes of hell, right? Now, you got to experience some of that 40 minutes of hell, right, up in Arkansas. Sometimes there's a stigma around players who can score that they don't play defense, right?
Yeah.
Taliah Scott, you're committed to playing defense?
I'm committed to playing defense. It's what I like to play every part of the game, right? And I feel like every part, offense is just as important as defense. Defense is just as important as offense. You need both to win a game. And so I feel like I'm really committed to learning the defensive schemes they have. Everything on defense, I'm committed to do. Rebounding, playing hard for 40 minutes, right? Playing hard for as long as I'm in the game, hustling, all of that, all the dirty stuff that defense requires you to do, I'm willing to do that. And I want to do that. And I've especially been doing that, especially in like high school before I got to college and stuff. And so I'm ready to get back to it. And, hopefully this year, one of me and Coach Jay's goals is to be all defensive team, SC all defensive team. So I want to make it happen, and I'm committed to all of it.
Man, I mean, listen, it's dirty work on defense, right? It's nefarious work over there on the defensive side of the ball. So being committed to that, I think, will put you a step above. What kind of teammate is Taliah Scott, right? Like, again, when you're the star scorer, sometimes you get labeled as maybe, diva or, selfish with the basketball, like, not a passer, all these things. What kind of teammate is Taliah Scott?
A teammate that wants to make everyone around her better. I'm there to encourage, there to help people, to lead by example, to pick people up when they're down, right? I'm there to make sure everybody is happy, and I'm there supporting everybody too, because if I want the support, I have to dish out the support too. And so I'm just there to support whatever people need out of me, I'm there to help provide it. And I want to make it an enjoyable experience for everybody. And especially as the freshmen coming in, I want to make sure that they feel embraced and they feel like I'm someone that they can lean on, and I can serve, not almost like a mentor kind of them, because I've been through it for a year. And so I just want to make sure that I'm really, really supportive of everybody. And I've been that. And I can't wait to, get to know my teammates. And, I like to have fun. I like to talk. I like to do all that stuff. And so I'm really excited. And I think the team really embraced and loved that about me.
As we're recording this, he just moved into Auburn yesterday, right? And so you got to hit the ground running. You're talking about, like, with your teammates. You brought up the freshmen. I just want to go back there. Two of the more talented players at the high school level in the state of Alabama, right? In Jordan Hunter and Soraya Daniels, who is the daughter of Marquise Daniels, coaches on the men's basketball team. What kind of things did you go through your freshman year that you're going to be able to kind of help them along in the transition from high school to college?
Yeah, so I feel like the biggest thing, especially for me, is just the amount of adversity I hit. Like, college isn't easy, right? And so when you come in, especially when you're in an environment that you've never been in before, I feel like there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. It's going to be a lot of stuff that you have to deal with, and it's going to be a mental strain sometimes. Especially if you're not living up to what you feel like you can be. And so I think for me, what I like to do is I like to just take time and reflect, to like visualize, like, this is what I want to be and this is where I'm trying to get to, and I've worked and I know that I'll be able to get there. And I also like talking about, like, having a support system. I used to talk to my family every time, like, I was getting low, in my really low lows, talk to my family, talk to people around me that were in my circle to raise me back up. But really, it's just, sometimes it's mental strain, but if you have that confidence, I learned that it'll help you a lot. And it's not going to be easy. It wasn't easy for me. And it was actually a really hard adjustment, especially like the time management part of it was the hardest thing for me. Being like having all that freedom, like, no, it was great. It was a very hard adjustment, but I did. And just learning how to manage my time, that was the biggest thing for me that I had to learn. And then weights I'd never really lifted before. Like, I lifted a little bit, but like, it wasn't serious like how we do in college. And so that was also a really big adjustment for me. But once I got the routine, everything, it was all good.
That's a very real thing you said about time management. When you get to college, suddenly there's nobody there telling you.
That you need to do this, you need to get this work, you need to, that was, time management was definitely the biggest thing I had to, work on. But I feel like I got it down. I got it down a little bit better than I did when I first, because I got there in the summer, I was just like, oh, this is what freedom is like. This is like, I could just go out at 2 a.m. and just go to McDonald's or something if I want to. Like, so it was just that freedom. It was the biggest thing to manage.
Well, speaking of freedom, it appears one of the reasons that you committed to Auburn is the freedom to play the game the way that Taliah Scott plays the game. And you and Coach Jay have the same vision for, how you will function here on offense, especially, right? Like,
Yes.
Can you explain to our listeners, like, what that is? Like, you mentioned that you emulate Steph Curry maybe with your game a little bit. Is that what fans can expect?
Yeah, so I feel like me as a player, I'm a playmaker. I'm a scorer when it comes to offense. I feel like I have the ability to score in a variety of different ways. So whatever the defense gives me, I feel like I have the ability to score in that way. But then also as a playmaker, like make the right pass, make my teammates around me better, be able to create for myself, but also for them. So if I have a shoot on the floor, getting them open shots, right? Driving and kicking, getting them open shots. If I have a post player like the one that we're bringing in, being able to get her the ball in her spots and let her go to work, right? And basically really doing anything that's required of me to win. Offensively, I feel like I have a full offensive package. I can do a lot of different things and I can be used in a lot of different ways. And so my versatility is the biggest thing that I feel like a lot of people will see. And it won't just be about scoring. Like some games I'm trying to, get my career high assists, get some like 10 assists maybe, get it done. Yeah, get my teammates involved. And so whatever Coach Jay and the team needs, that's what I'm willing to give on offense and on defense.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, and I think that if Coach Jay were here, she might be happy hearing that her new star player is committed to doing whatever the team needs to win. Sources tell me that the most important stat on the stat sheet is W's.
Yes.
All right. You got to go out and you got to get W's. Auburn got 8 of them in conference last year, right? You saw the dynamic of this team last year. You played them, right? Without going too far, what do you think the ceiling of this team is? With you and Deanna and the girls who just Taylor made the decision to come back, which is huge defensively. And they may not even be done building this roster. What do you think your ceiling can be next year? Is it championship?
Always. That's always the goal. Championship is always the goal. I think we have the ability to be a really, really good team. I think we have the ability to have a really high finish in the SEC, get a good seeding in both tournaments, SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. I feel like we have the ability to go really far. And I just feel like we have the depth. We have all the right pieces, right? And I feel like we have a team that's bought in and each player's bought into their role and what they need to contribute for us to win. We have Deanna coming in, great post player from Texas. She did her thing. We have Taylor coming back, one of the best defenders I've ever seen, hands down. We got Marshawn and Duhan too, some of the best defenders and fastest guards I've seen. Yeah, look. And then, we got the freshmen coming in who I think are going to contribute a lot to our team. And then we have Yakaya being developed. We have our post players. We have Scotty. We have Tamir. We have all of them. And I think everybody's committed to getting better over the summer, especially developing and then playing their role to the best of their ability. And we have everybody around that to support. We have the coaching staff supporting and believing in everybody, which I feel like the belief and the confidence that we'll have as a team, especially after the summer we've worked together, I think it's going to take us really, really far this year. And we're going to win some games that people probably don't think we're going to win.
Well, if you're willing to prepare at an elite level, you put yourself in position to have elite results. And certainly that has become the expectation at Auburn now for women's basketball. It maybe hasn't always been, but Coach Harris has really changed the narrative around Auburn women's basketball. Wins are expected, right? And you've got 3 years of improvement and you've got to improve for a 4th year straight. So it'll be fun to see, I think, what you guys do out there on the court this year. It's the new SEC, right? I want to ask you just kind of a fun question here at the end. Texas and Oklahoma joined the conference, so it'll be a little bit of a different SEC. But is there a game that you have circled?
Oh, I got 2 of them. I got a couple of them.
Right. Is there a game you have circled that you are chomping at the bit to maybe get some get back?
Yeah, I got 2 of them. I got Arkansas for sure, just because, but then I also got Tennessee, right? So I'm ready. I'm ready to play. And I'm also ready to play because I didn't get to play South Carolina and LSU, so I'm also ready to play them too. But definitely Arkansas and Tennessee are the games I got circled.
Yeah, all those teams on the schedule for next year in some capacity, whether they're coming to Auburn or you're going there. So can't wait to see what you do. Taliah, give me a soundbite for a second. The women's basketball is getting a lot of attention right now. The crop of girls that came out, the Cameron Brinks, the Caitlin Clarks, right? The Angel Reeses, Camila Cardozas, an amazing class of athletes that have come in. What do you think about the attention that women's basketball is getting right now? It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, we've been waiting for this moment, right? People who came before us, paving the way for us to get this type of attention that we're receiving. And I feel like it's just been something that's been in the works. Like, we've needed the attention. Any attention is good attention, right? And so being able to have those players that are able to showcase and draw the attention so that other people can be seen and other people can be showcased, I feel like it really grows the game. And I feel like people are going to stick and they're going to keep watching because they're going to see all the talented players and how talented it's been for a while now that we just didn't get the recognition for. And so I think it has a huge draw, especially with the people in college too, like not even just pros, like people in college. It's a huge draw, and basketball is evolving. Women's basketball, it's evolving, and it's become a game that people want to watch. And so I'm excited to be a part of it, and I hope I can help grow the game too.
Well, I'm excited for all the attention you're going to bring Auburn women's basketball this coming season. I want to thank Taliah Scott for joining me to talk a little bit about the beginning of her journey, her rebirth of the SEC. Guys, that's it for another great edition of The Mix with my girl, Taliah Scott. If you want more content like this, please hit like and subscribe. We are the War Report on every social media platform. TW Report on TikTok. We're signing off, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle.